Hello, everybody. This is Diysalvation status update, where I give you biblical perspectives on everyday issues. And today we'll be talking about our men really from Mars, a very interesting topic. And I have with me once again Casey Love Candy.
Hi everybody.
Okay, so this topic is very, very interesting. I came across a post by a pastor, and he said this. I have to say he's a pastor so that you don't know it's just anybody. He said this. I said, dear single lady, so you want to marry a pastor? He will need daily intercession, sex a lot, and regular encouragement. And so I decided to pass it, like just get to know what Casey would say about it.
Sounds very selfish. So that's all a woman is good for. Daily intercession, sex a lot, and regular encouragement. That's it, women. That's all we're good
But
for.
you didn't see the other part about daily intercession. Don't you also need daily intercession?
I need daily intercession, that's true. He says daily intercession for him.
For a pastor, yeah.
Yeah.
Sex a lot and regular encouragement. Sex a
Regular
lot is just part of it now. Okay, so this is actually the attitude. Casey has it. And I saw this attitude also on the post because some other lady said this something very profound.
I like to hear what the lady said.
She said, so the apostles that followed Jesus,
Thank
they need
you.
sex a lot.
Thank you. I'm just imagining in the middle of the whole conversation or during the Last Supper, Peter was busy thinking about how he was going to be satisfied after the Last Supper.
Casey, you didn't know what Casey said the first time I mentioned this to her. She said, if any of the apostles was actually like that, it could have been Peter.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he was so, he was really into his emotions. Like next thing his brother sword is slash someone's ears off.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I believe
Peter.
I believe he was a proper wrestler. I'm sure Peter right now is hearing me, but I think that's what he really was.
Proper wrestler.
Proper wrestler.
Lol.
When he was not, all about ministry and going places and being on the ship with Jesus. I'm just trying to imagine at what point during the whole evangelism that Jesus Christ had that Peter or John, was thinking. But let's be honest, I'm sure there were times.
Hearing this from Casey and also from the people that responded in the post, what I would say first and foremost, what I thought was it serves men right. You know why? And it's not because it's just ladies. Please, guys, don't crucify me yet. But because of the fact that every man, like when ladies would put out their need as being a need for security, the men would always say that they're gold diggers or all that women want is money, 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 money. But then that's all the ladies will also say that's all guys will want is sex, 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 sex. That's all we ever hear anyways. And so I will say it serves men right. But then reading along and hearing what Casey has to say about it, I kind of feel sorry for guys. So today I will be taking your side.
Okay.
No, not really. I'm a pastor. I have to take both sides.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm a lady. I can't do that. But what I want to say is this. I think that it's not fair that we have to trample on the needs of men. Now, of course, I know that men need a lot of things, different other things. But I find that for a man, sex is actually a need for connection. All right, and it's something that is, remember, is a need. In fact, somebody even pointed out to me. I was talking to a guy earlier, and I was mentioning this to him, and he was like, "Haven't you seen that post by Miles Monroe that says that sex is a need? That men don't just want sex; they need sex." And well, I must admit, I haven't seen that post. All right, but
Yeah, but I can actually imagine Miles Monroe saying that.
Why?
Yeah, because I've heard a few times when he
Said something like that.
preached
Close.
he's he's that kind of
He was
person.
balanced.
Yeah.
So I think you kind of agree. Miles Monroe says that it's a need for men. You kind of like, you're not that harsh anymore.
Well, coming from Miles Monroe,
At least just, okay, let's put it this way.
coming from
People have needs. In every relationship, people have needs, all right? For a woman, it's security. And usually when a woman tells a man that you don't love me, what she's saying is that you're not meeting my needs for security. And many times security means like money, like taking care of me in the ways that, that I can see, I can feel, I can touch, all right? Now, I know a lot of people will go against that and say so many things. No, you can do this and no, you can do that. But actually, it's, I think it's also scriptural that when you love somebody, you have to give. For God so loved the world that He gave. All right. And most times I'll tell men, if you do love a woman, you better put your money where your mouth is. Don't just say I love you, because as if that's all we need to hear. Women are smarter these days. Women are smarter these days. So it doesn't matter all your I love yous. They want to know whether you're going to put your money where your mouth is. All right. So what I'm saying is that men do have needs, just like women have needs. They have a lot of needs. But when it comes to relationships, what men need from a woman is a need to connect. And they feel mostly connected in sex. Now, I'm not talking to unmarried people. Do you mind? Okay, because we're believing that we're Christians. So, but the guys, yeah, you can learn something. The girls, you can learn something for marriage. But I'm not saying you should go and have sex and say, hey, I was telling my girlfriend the other day and she refused. You see? Now, pastor is saying, yeah, that's not what I mean. Okay, so we're talking to people that, well, if you're planning to get married, or if you're going to get married, or if you're already married. So sex is something that men do need, because that's the way they feel most connected to their women. Or that's, I think our society makes us kind of like, makes the men like, you can't cry, you can't show that you're emotional, you can't do a lot of these things. So, but when they're having sex, I'm sorry, this is a little bit like graphic. But when they're having sex, they can't control, like they can't be what's that word now? They can't be judged, or they can be emotional, and nobody's going to say, are you you know what I mean? And so it's comfortable for them. That's where they feel a connection. But of course, you have to wait till you get married before you have sex. So don't allow any man tell you that they want to feel the connection to you before.
You probably be surprised how emotional men can get when they are having sex with the person that they love and everything. Because I remember a friend of mine told me how. So this friend of mine tells me that there was this friend of hers. I don't know if it was her friend, but she said it's her friend that was complaining about the person.
It's getting so juicy in here.
Getting a fiance and everything, is about to get married to. And, he's just quite very respectable man, and, he does want his job. And then I think that the time that they finally had sex, that, he was just moaning like a wounded sea lion, like, stuff like that. So like this was the first time that she got to see the real him, his emotions and everything. So truly, if that's what it is, then I guess their emotions show up best in that kind of situation.
So of course you're going to be more sympathetic right now.
Well, no, I am sympathetic. The only thing is that the way it came out, like the way it was listed out, like that's all women are good for. I'm not a feminist or anything.
But that's not what he meant. I actually understood what he meant, because he only was just saying it simply like, like men do need a lot of sex, especially a pastor, because a pastor has to go through a lot of issues and so many things, so many people that he has to deal with. And at the end of the day, he needs to like, but then if you're a pastor's wife and you're like maybe too holy or something, like, it's different. Or maybe if you don't understand, I actually think that where the issue is that women don't understand that it's a need, and also men do not understand that a woman's need for security, it's a need. And that's what I want to say. If you meet a lady and you call her a gold digger, she has every right to tell you that all you need, in fact, is there anything like a sex digger? Any such thing? What kind of name are we going to use for the guys now? So you can understand why the ladies are always saying, and they're berating men and saying that that's all they're good for and all of that. And it's not fair. It's not fair for the women. It's not fair for the guys. And that's why I'm saying that we should be more understanding. All right. Now, like I always say, there is a verse of scripture that I can give to you, like a principle. Okay, now that we know that ultimately we both want, the sex is one the same thing, one our needs to be met, Okay, so this scripture I found that is quite interesting. I hope I find it now. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 1 says, "Now concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman." Now, aside, just by by the way, if you happen to be a stingy man, you have no business being in a relationship. Yeah. Not this year, not ever. You probably should go and live on the moon, or maybe, in fact, the moon is too close to us. You just go to some planet somewhere, don't, please. Because you can't be stingy and then you come, because I hear a lot of stingy men, they talk like, they'll be like, is that what all women want? And things like this. Because in a relationship, you need to be able to give.
I think even these days, they don't even say it out. Their actions will let you know that they're not ready to do anything.
So
they
they're
don't
looking
say
for
anymore. And I think it's just, there's just some things that they'll say, or how they want to change the plans, just so that nothing comes out, no investment, so to speak, into
a guy must invest in you, all right? He must invest the way a man will invest in his business. He must invest with money. He must invest through his family. That means you have to be involved in his family. He has to want to show you to his friends, all right? He must invest his time. He must invest his heart. Some guys can give you all of these things. You never get their heart. He must invest everything in you. And then he must invest a huge sum of his money, a huge chunk, not even some. Some is like some chunk of his money. All right. And then, of course, you ladies, well, if you're in a relationship, marital relationship, of course, why not learn, like, enjoy sex already? Like, why do you have to be complaining about it all the time? And if you don't enjoy, find ways. Both of you could go and visit, a doctor, or do something, and just find ways to enjoy it already, so that if a man is happy, of course, and if he's a good man, all right, someone who is ready to provide and take care of the family and do everything, then you should also make him comfortable also, where he knows that he can come home and then it's a safe haven for him. All right. Now, as I was saying concerning the scriptures, 1 Corinthians 7 verse 1, concerning the things whereof he wrote me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Verse 2, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Then he says, let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. Now, I know that the scripture is basically talking about the marital relationship and the sex and relationship and all of that. However, I want to say that this also applies in every other needs, because women have needs that are different from a man's needs, and men do have needs that are different from a woman's needs. So at the end of the day, you want to actually render due benevolence, because that's what makes a relationship work, that you render due benevolence. And it says that the wife had no power of her own body but the husband, and likewise also the husband had no power of his own body but the wife. Then look at verse 5, say, defraud ye not. So guys, don't say my wife is always about money and all of that. Provide for her. Let her understand that this is how much you have. Let me tell you, I think the secret is that when you're dealing in marital relationships, let your wife know how much you earn. Let her know how much is being spent and all of that. Divide the money, the way you should in your budget or whatever it is that you have to do it. If she knows how much is coming in and how much is going out, she's not going to bother you again. But if you keep giving her maybe 20K today, tomorrow she'll ask you. She doesn't even know that the account is empty. All right, because you're just giving her like that, and she doesn't know what is going on in it.
Then what about in a situation where I know that a way a man shows that he loves, or a way you should show love, is by giving. So for women, it's giving of their bodies to their man and respecting them and all of that. Now, in a situation where money is not really the issue for the woman, it has to do with loyalty or a heart thing. In that kind of situation, because a man can give you money and all of those things, but may not necessarily be loyal, so to speak. Because I remember there was someone was telling me about a young lady who was to get married and everything, and she found out later that her fiance cheated on her, but she didn't say anything, and she went ahead with the marriage, but did not let him touch her. She didn't. That was her way of paying back. And it took, sad. I think it took months. They had to even go see someone. He had to complain about it and say, look, I don't know what's going on. And it took lots of months before she opened up. And that really scared the man. This woman could be so secretive about this.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying about due benevolence. There's actually needs in a relationship that everybody needs to be able to meet. All right, loyalty is part of it. There are other things apart from sex, apart from security, apart from all these other things. All right, but it's due, like I said, this scripture is talking about sex, but it's due benevolence. That means everybody has rights in a relationship and things that they should actually gain from a relationship, and it is your responsibility to actually make that happen for them. Likewise, the other person as well. All right, we've come to the end of today's show. All right, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you enjoyed our video, please like our Facebook page and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this, or even better. And trust Casey, once she's on the show, she turns into something else.
Do
Right?
I? Yeah.
Yeah. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.